Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be looking at the newest addition to the Japanese version of Final Fantasy ExBravexius. Yes, as you can see, we do have Zack from Final Fantasy 7, and I am so hyped for him. I just finished potting him with the TAC and LB, so I'm super excited to see what he could do. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at some of his skills. The first thing I want to talk about his skills is his TMR bonus. If you take a look over here, his TMR bonus is actually really good on paper. It gives him 40% attack, 50% true double hand, and 30% bonus to his limit burst damage. Now here is the problem that I have with this TMR, and as you can see here, I have not even mocked this TMR yet because I have no use for it. I'm using something else. I'm using Bahamut's Chair, which I think is the better weapon on Zack. Now his TMR, here's what's wrong with it. First of all, it has low attack. It only has 145 attack, which is only 5 more than Squall's TMR, and that was released like 10 months ago. The main problem is that his TMR does not have any elements on there, which means unless you're running Imbuer on your team, he's not going to be able to do any elemental damage, which means he's not going to be able to take advantage of any Imperials that you might bring to the fight. Now, in my opinion, Bahamut's Chair is the best weapon on him because it does give him the innate thunder damage, thunder element, and it does have the extra limit burst damage as well. Now, Crimson's STMR from the last banner is also a great option on him. Of course, if you don't have any of these super TMRs, do get Zack's TMR. It is good for him. You probably want to run an Imbuer on the team. Summer, Fina, and Lid would actually be a very good complement to Zack because she can Imperial Water and imbue your whole team with water as well, as long as the enemy you're fighting is not water resistant or doesn't absorb water or something like that. With his TMR bonus, Zack gains 160% attack, 150% true double hand, and a 1.3 multiplier to his limit burst damage. Without his TMR bonus, he still gains 120% attack, 100% true double hand, which is still really good. And on top of that, he gets plus 50% HP, plus 50% MP, 60% defense, 60% spirit, and plus 30% to his expert stats. Along with that, he also gains 5 to 7 LB crystals per turn, which is really good because he is somewhat LB oriented. You're gonna be wanting to use his limit burst as much as possible because it's super powerful. He also has a skill that gets him 60% chance to ignore fatal attacks if his HP is above 40%, and this skill also grants him sleep immunity, confuse immunity, and stone immunity. And he also has a skill that kind of boosts his modifiers on some of his active skills. The one that's really interesting is this one over here, which is Octoslash. These other two skills are rather insignificant, and you'll maybe use them once in the blue moon, pretty much. Now, 300% doesn't seem much, but it actually is pretty significant, and I'll show you why right afterwards. And of course, he can also dual cast pretty much all of his abilities, which is really nice, but it's pretty much the standard nowadays. Now, in terms of active abilities, Zack has a bunch of filler activities that you're probably never going to be using, so I'll go over those quickly and then I'll show you the abilities that he does use. So this is filler ability number 1, 320% single target one-hit attack. Never going to use that anywhere. This one over here, you might be able to see, it could be good in arena actually because it procs twice with a single use, so which means if you're using it, you're guaranteed a 4k damage, and it kind of chains as well. So arena skill, you could use that. This one has a AoE 40% death proc. If it doesn't proc, it turns into a 270% AoE hit. Again, probably not going to see much use. You're not going to be using it a lot other than arena. This is Octoslash pretty much. You're gonna be using this skill a lot if you're using Zack as a chainer. This is his go-to chaining skill. Now with his passive, which increases the base modifier to Octoslash by 300, the effective modifier of this skill is actually 1100%, which is decent for a chaining skill in this point of in this stage of the game. Nothing game breaking, but very decent. Now, He also has another chaining skill that has a lower modifier, a way lower modifier at 360% with no boosts. However, it does have Holy Explosion frames, and it does give you 4 to 5 LB crystals every single use. So, you know, this skill could see some use if you're looking to fill up his LB, which you want to do because his LB is super powerful. This meteor skill is basically, if you remember, Cloud has something similar as well, so I assume that they will chain together. So unless you want to chain Zack with Cloud for some nostalgia or some other weird reasons, probably not going to be using this skill too much. This skill breaks the enemy for 65%. Breaks the defense of the enemy by 65%. Again, probably not going to be seeing too much use because you're probably running a better breaker already. Let's see what else other skills he has. Oh, this one over here is basically his on-demand finishing skill. It's 400% base modifier plus a critical modifier. Now, he does have a passive ability that increases the base modifier by 300. So we're actually looking at a 700 modifier attack plus the 1.5 multiplier for the critical, which I believe it ends up as 1050%. Hopefully my math is not wrong. That makes it a decent finisher. Again, nothing game breaking in today's staging game. He's not going to be using this skill a lot because he has a way better finishing skill, and I'll show you where that is. Now here's where things get interesting. So this is his first cooldown skill. What it does is basically it buffs him for 250% attack and defense for 4 turns. It gives him evade up to 2 physical attacks for 4 turns as well, and enables access to Engraving Hero, which is this skill right here. It has a 200% modifier plus critical, which gives it an effective modifier of 3000%. Now this skill lasts for 4 turns, and you can dual cast it. That's how OP it is. So without finishing any chains, already you have a skill that does 6000% damage with dual cast. That's incredible. Like if you're finishing a chain, if you're getting the full chain multiplier, you're looking at something like 24,000%. That I can't. This is what makes Zack so OP, because I mean, if you remember CG Sid, he does something similar, but it takes him like 3 or 4 turns to set up his skill. Zack, after using this cooldown skill, he has access to this for 4 turns. I'm at a loss for words, and if you think that's incredible, let's take a look at this skill over here. Now on the surface, it looks like it's like a self-healing skill. It heals himself for MP and HP and MP every single turn. Gives him some debuff resist. I think that's attack debuff resist. However, if you look at this part of the skill, it gives him a 300 modifier to Engraving Hero. What that means is basically on top of the 2000 modifier, he gets another 300% modifier, which turns his base modifier into 2000 and 300%. Then you multiply the critical modifier, which is 1.5, of course, so that'll give him 3450% modifier on this finishing skill that you could dual cast. I can't. This is why Zack is so OP. Oh my god, I can't wait to test this out, to be honest. I can't. That's just incredible. That's just incredible. Now his second cooldown skill, it's not a finishing skill. It's a chaining skill. You're probably not going to be using this too much unless you're using Zack as a chainer. And again, this is why I don't recommend using Zack as a chainer, because his finishing capabilities is so overpowered. I mean, why would you use him as a chaining unit when his finishing skills are so overpowered? Like, I mean, if you have to use him as a chainer, I mean, by all means go for it. I mean, this you could use it together with Octoslash. I mean, whenever it's on cooldown, this gives a nice 80% impro. But again, it's, why would you use something like this when you have this, right? So again, if you have Zack, I strongly recommend using him as a finisher, not as a chainer. Of course, if you have to use him as a chainer, go for it, but you're just wasting so much so much potential. Now, in addition to that, his limit burst is actually OP as hell as well. Let's take a look into it. It's a 3000% modifier with a critical multiplier, which turns into 4,500. Now, it doesn't look that OP on paper, but considering how easy it is to farm materials for LB damage, it's actually extremely powerful. Now, if you guys didn't know, Kianos was a 4-star unit on the last banner that gave whose TMR was 50% LB damage. So you no longer have to farm Squall's super TMR. You can just farm 2 of Kianos' TMR and you'll be good to go. So if you farm 2 of Kianos' TMR, that's 100% LB. That's 100%, right? LB damage. If you have Bahamut's Tear, that's another 30, or if you're using the TMR, that's another 30 as well. So you could easily have 130% LB damage plus a critical plus a base modifier. You're looking at something that's you're looking at over 10,000% on his limit burst. 10,000%, guys. That's I'm at a loss for words. Like, honestly, the only downside I see for this limit burst is that it's 5 hits. Now, you do require somewhat of a long chain to chain this into, but it's doable. Like, it's doable. You could, just based on the data, you could probably dual cast Tornado or dual cast Flood. That should fit in there, no problem. And we're gonna test that in just a moment. But oh my God, let me just take that in. Over 10. Well, not over 9,000, it's over 10,000. Oh my goodness. Now, with that said, it is time to test him. I think I'm just gonna go to the dummy real quick and just to see how he does. So I'm gonna go in with this team over here. Nyx, he's just there to fill up the LB and just die. I got Now here. She's gonna use her LB for that sweet Lightning Pro because I do have Bahamut's Tear on Zack. I got Nicole and Lulu for no other reason other than just flood chaining. You could try this with other chainers as well. Tornado, whatever. I just chose to go with Nicole because I had him on my team, and that was the most convenient way to go. So, come on. Oh my God. Can't wait to try that. 10,000. How do I get? Oh, there we go. Okay. Almost forgot how to get in the training room. I wonder if he can just hit the cap. I mean, he could very well just hit the cap with that. I mean, so far I've only hit the cap with I believe CG Sid. Just gonna double check to make sure Diablo's equipped. So let's just double check my equipment. So I got Bahamut's Tear for the elemental damage and the LB bonus. Basically geared to pump up his attack. I don't have his super TMR, but I do have Beatrix's, so that's gonna work. I have Shin double or True double hand over here, and I have Squall's super TMR and Kianos' TMR, so that's gonna give me 135% LB bonus, LB damage bonus, and I got Diablo equipped for Man Killer, which works on the dummy. So let's take a look to see how much damage we could do. Let's go here. Ooh. Let's go here. So the first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dual cast his cooldown number 1 and his self-healing skill for that modifier increase. Let's see, because I want to test out his finishing ability as well, right? So might as well do it all at once. I wonder if I can fit the chain. I wonder if I can fit it in. Let's see. So use his yep, die. There we go. Now I think that should give him oh, what LB? Do I have her LB max? Level 26. Okay, level 26 should give her, I believe, 100%. 100% Impro, I think. Hopefully. I don't know. Oh, I should have just... whatever. Let's take a look to see how this works. I'm just going to reload here. Oh my God. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. Are you ready, guys? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Oh, did I get it? Did I don't think I got the last hit. 52. Oh, maybe I think I did. Oh my god. What is the cap? I think that's pretty close, is it not? I think that's pretty close. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure the cap is like 2 point. How many? I'm gonna check afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm pretty sure that is. I'm pretty sure if I had a super TMR, I would have hit the cap. Guaranteed. I'm pretty sure. Let's check out this skill here. See how that works. See how much damage that does. Now the only downside is that this thing is pretty slow. So yeah, there we go. We got 2 hits in. 49 chain. That's perfect. Oh, okay, not so bad. Did I miss? I feel like I might have missed something. Let's try his limit burst one more time. See if it's any different. Oh, I might. I'm a little bit. I'm late. Failed. Yeah, that didn't do that much damage, but oh my god, I'm pretty sure the max is like 2 point. Let's take a look to see what everybody else does. I haven't done this in a while. Let's see the leaderboard. Come on. Yeah, no, the max damage is 2.147 billion. 2 billion. 2.1 billion pretty much. We hit that. We hit 2 billion. We're just a little bit off. So like I said, if I had a super TMR, would have been able to hit it for sure. Now the reason why mine doesn't show up here is that there is actually a bug within the program right now where you have to hit this number like in one single hit, because you know how Zack's limit burst is 5 hits. It only takes 1 hit. Like this, you have to hit this as 1 hit for this to count. So right now I believe it's only doable with Sid, CG Sid. Who else can do it? Jake. I don't think Jake can hit it yet. I don't think Jake can do it, but I think CG Sid might be the only one to hit this number with 1 hit. So everybody that's on here probably use Sid, right? So yeah, that is pretty much it. Zack, very OP. Again, like I said, I probably wouldn't be able to hit the 2.1 billion mark if my chainers were a little bit better, or if I had his super TMR. And that's with him alone. Like I said, I didn't use any good chainers. So imagine if I use like Axter, or if I use Yuffie, or anybody that did some kind of chaining damage, that would have been instantly, right? So this is how much damage Zack is doing by himself, pretty much, by capping a chain. That is, and he can do it. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Zack is OP, man. If you're looking for that, if you're looking for big damage, like Zack is incredible. And I like it. I like him. I really like Zack as a character because he, as you can see, he is pretty OP. However, he does have glaring weaknesses as well, right? So his weakness, obviously, he can't imbue himself with any element. So you have to use either a super TMR, or you have to bring in an extra imbuer. He does not have an on-demand Impero, so your chainers either have to Impero, or you have to bring in an outside Impero. So in my opinion, he does have very glaring weaknesses. He has some flaws, but if you're able to surround him with the right team around him, I think he's going to be a very very OP unit. Now, obviously, we just did some testing on the dummy. I'm not going to take him to any fights yet. I still want to play around with him to see if I can get a better team surrounded. But I will have videos coming out with Zack trying to do some of the latest trials. So maybe the newest Octopus Teacher, Gilgamesh Kai, etc. So I'll definitely be looking to do those. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, what can I say? Zack is pretty OP. I will have a Yuffie video coming out soon as well. I was just so hyped for Zack that, whew, my goodness. See you guys next time.